Hey everybody, I decided that since it's Valentine's Day, I would give you guys a little backstory about me and Mallory, kind of how we met and stuff like that. So for those that don't know, I've been dating Mallory for nearly 2 years. It'll be 2 years, second week of March. We met on the internet on starman.net, which is the Earthbound site to go to and learn about the Mother series and that video game series. I'm a complete geek. But luckily so is she. Everything goes way back to 2006. I was a senior in high school. Mallory had apparently become interested in my videos and joined the MeSteven.com forums, which are dead as of now, and will probably be dead for a long time. Jump forward a year, we started making Fobbies Are Born in 2007. Everyone started getting really big with like doing Skype. Me and my friend Benjamin Carillon, who was a co-star in the show Fobbies Are Born, we would talk on Skype a lot, and then we started building it to include just all these different people because Skype could handle like 10 people at once. So we were talking with all these different people, and there was one night that we invited Mallory. Mallory, at that time, did not even have a headset. All she could do was listen with headphones and type in things, and I actually convinced her to go get a headset. And I took notice to her just because I knew who she was, because she had been on my forums for a year. And the community was always really small, so it meant a lot to have someone in the community who I got to talk to. She got her headset. You know, the Skype thing was not dying down at all, so everyone was talking on Skype. It was just these big, huge conversations between 8 to 10 people, but Mallory was in there. And it actually started getting to this point. It was kind of weird, and I didn't really catch myself doing it, but whenever Ben had started a conference, and he was talking to a bunch of people, and he went to invite me, I found myself asking who was in the conference, and only later did I realize that I was looking for Mallory's name. I would ask Ben, I would be like, who's in there? And if he listed Mallory's name, I would always join. I guess it wasn't really something that clicked with me. It wasn't like I knew in my heart, I was like, oh, is Mallory in there? It was just, if Mallory was in there, I wanted to be in there. And it was just an unconscious thing that I would do. The first time that me and Mallory really got to talk was in January. There was a conference between me, Ben, another friend of mine, Martin, and Mallory. Ben ended up falling asleep, so it was just me, Mallory, and Martin talking, and we talked for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Honest to God, we probably talked for like 10 hours on Skype early into the early mornings. It was probably that first conversation where I got to know Mallory at least a little better than when I knew her. And that was in January. In February, I was asked by Mallory if it would be okay if her and her roommate sent me a Valentine's Day card. And it wasn't that I was anything special. They were sending them to a bunch of people like on Starman and stuff. So I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't really think anything of it. I wasn't really gathering feelings for her or anything at that point. Slightly before Valentine's Day, 3 years ago from now, so, 08, we had friended each other on Facebook. Valentine's Day came and went. I got her cards. I said thank you. Didn't really think anything of it, but I found myself at night, before I went to bed, just browsing through Facebook and always ending up on her page. I would go through her pictures and just read up on what would, stuff going on in her life. And you have to understand that we still didn't know each other all that well. We had talked on Skype in a group, never one-on-one. She had sent me that Valentine's Day thing, but she sent it to everybody. But I found myself just every night winding up on her page, and why am I doing this? I don't understand. Then it occurred to me that I really liked her. I was looking at her pictures because I thought she was beautiful. I had a crush on her. And you have to understand that when I went off to college, I had previously had a bad experience with a girl, being constantly rejected. At that point, I was like, you know what, I don't want to have anything to do with women, and I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to get a good education, and girls are second, and I don't give a crap about anyone. I'm just going to go and learn and do everything I can to learn. I guess different plans were in store because I fell completely head over heels for Mallory, and I still didn't know her all that well. As that was happening, it turns out that the guy I'd been talking to, Ben, was falling head over heels for Mallory's roommate, Stephanie. One night, probably March 1st, 2008, Ben sends me a message, and he said, "Hey, I need you to keep Mallory up." He says, "I need you to make sure she didn't go to bed." And I'm like, okay. So I send Mallory a message on Instant Messenger. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" She's like, "Oh, okay. Just about ready to go to bed." And I was like, "No, wait, I love you." And I didn't say that out of love. I said that because it was just one of those things that you say to get someone's attention, I guess. But I remember she typed back that she was speechless. I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Most people react to that in a ha-ha motion, but apparently she took it to heart, and I realized she took it to heart, and it was a very awkward thing. Then she went to bed. Then I sent Ben a message and I said, "So what was up with that?" And he said, "I was trying to tell Stephanie how I felt about her. If Mallory went to bed, Steph would go to bed because, they were roommates. I needed you to keep Mallory up so I could explain it to Steph." And I was telling Ben about, how I said, "I love you" and all this stuff. And Ben was like, he's like, that was funny. He's like, "You don't really like Mallory though, do you?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, she's nice. I don't." And then Ben started to slowly gather what was happening. "You have a crush on Mallory." I just completely denied everything. I had put up such an emotional wall after dealing with this past girl. It was not going to come down easy. Ben's heart was all fluttery about Stephanie. He was very eager to share the flutteriness of his relationship. So, the next day, Ben's like, "Talk to her." Yeah, I was like, I'll talk to her, but I'm not into her. I started talking to her for hours. After that night, we talked every day for a week straight. And every day that we talked for like 10 hours. We would get up in the morning and talk to each other, go to class. As soon as we would come back, we would disregard anything else that we had to do and just sit there and talk to each other. It goes on and on and on. I am just so excited to wake up in the morning to talk to her. We're not dating or anything. We're just talking. I was just super, super excited to talk to her. It was just the best thing in the world. Ben pretty much told me I needed to say something. I was like, no. And he was like, "Yeah, man, you gotta say something." I was like, "No, you have no idea how many times I was hurt previously. We're good friends. I don't really want to jump in." He's like, "Listen, you like this girl, and you need to say something." And I was just getting mad. I didn't want to have anything to do with any of this stuff because I was so scared that it wouldn't work out. I hated what Ben was doing. He was tearing down this wall that I had so carefully built after being rejected so many times. I didn't like that. I was someone who was always so in control of my emotions. I'm the guy who cries once every 3 years. I was very uncomfortable with Ben doing that to me. But he did it. He did it. He did a good job. I will never be able to thank him enough for doing that. Because on March 8th, 2008, while 4 of my friends sat in our single-room dorm room and played Super Smash Bros. Melee with the volume cranked, I sat and typed away on my computer, and I told Mallory that I had feelings for her, and she said that she felt the same way. And I was the happiest person on earth. One of the most infamous lines that I've ever said, that is a private thing between me and Mallory, but I said, "I have so much to say right now, and all I can hear are Link and Pikachu." And that's been like a joke between us forever. But that is how it all began. We e-dated 3 months or whatever, and then June 08, I flew to Wisconsin to meet her. Whenever I flew to see her, I remember being so scared. And I was scared that it may not be real. Maybe everything that I had felt online wouldn't carry over to the physical. But it did. Man, it did. And the first time that I grabbed her hand, I knew that it was all going to work out. And there's a lot of other stories I could tell, and, we've been together now almost 2 years, but I'll keep it at that, and that's just how it all began. And hey, this is an incredibly sappy, mushy thing, and if you are into the action-adventure, seeing me in African villages with goats, then this is not the vlog day that you should be watching. Now I have it out there. You guys at least know how it all started. And if you have any particular questions about anything, you can ask. One thing I really like to keep my vlogs is participation, almost like a conversation. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, or you want to know something about the day or me or anything, just ask in the comments. I read every single comment, and if it's a question, I try to respond if I can, if I don't forget. But anyway, that's the story of me and Mallory. It's been a fun trip, and maybe at some point I'll talk more about other fun stuff that we've done, but for now, this has been one of the vlogs that I always never want to do, where I'm just sitting in a chair in my white undershirt talking to the camera, but I felt it was appropriate for Valentine's Day, so thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.